I woke up this morning um, a bit disturbed. Ever have those mornings? And as I was reflecting on the fact that here we are moving into this Halloween, all, costumey, and I was going to put on my skeleton yoga outfit. And, you know, it occurred to me that Halloween is an opportunity for us to put on a costume. But then, of course, with this mind that I've been given, it went a little deeper into, but wait a minute, don't I always have a costume on? When I watch myself on videos on stage, isn't that a costume I put on? So let's sit here for a moment and just reflect upon the many different costumes, perhaps metaphorically or actually, that you put on as you move about your day. And how absolutely creative each costume can be, and it can change within a moment. I mean, some of us have professions like nurses and policemen who have very obvious costumes to signify their particular identity or standing in the culture, and then supposedly garner a particular response, ideally one of respect. But isn't it interesting to look at this notion of costumes and how creative these costumes can be, and how we often just get stuck in this rut of, okay, I put on the costume of a yoga class this morning, or I put on the costume of my apron so that I can make food, whatever it is for you. Ronnie, you put on your painter's cap, or Katie, you put on your monk's robes. So as you take a few more breaths and settle in, just recognize those many costumes that uh, you show up in. And just notice the reactions around that. And as you inhale, feel those responses expand up into your chest area, up into the throat, into the lungs, to the crown of the head on the inhale. And as you exhale, let it go. Let the breath release all the way down into the base of the spine. So if you're responding any way like I was this morning, I woke up with a little bit of I was out of sorts, and there was a negative quality to it. And so I would like to invite you on this pre-Halloween yoga class to explore the creativity around the many costumes you wear, the many identities that you put on. I think last Saturday, uh, one of the students mentioned how she changed her name for a while. And I remember doing that in college. For a while, I changed my name for a month to something completely different. It was fun. It's a little crazy, but a little fun. So let's have a little fun today. And we're actually going to start in corpse pose, Shavasana, classic Halloween pose, right? So come onto your backs. Make sure you're warm enough. We're going to just do a little pranayama here on our backs. So go ahead and straighten your legs and just have this image of you in the earth. We have this connotation, sometimes distressing connotation, about laying on the earth in a corpse 6 feet under. Or we could look at it like, oh, fertile soil for creativity. So as you lay here, take a few breaths into your belly, and in fact, bring your hands onto your belly. In my case, onto my pubic bone and my pelvis, which you will feel underneath your palms. Aren't our costumes, our identities, just a reflection of what's going on the inside anyway? And that changes moment by moment. So let's have some fun with it. Fingertips pointing down towards the pubic bone, thumbs up towards the belly button now. As you breathe into the palms of the hands, feel that area expand into your hands. And as you exhale, feel it release. Now, Saturday last week, we explored first, second, third chakra. The bija sound syllable Lam Vam Ram. Now we know Halloween is full of spooky sounds, so let's just take a few breaths here as you inhale into the belly. As you exhale, Lam Vam Ram. 3 more times on your own. And as you chant Lam Vam Ram, Lam Vam Ram. Feel that whole area underneath your palms, first, second, third chakra. Lam Vam Ram. Feel how the breath releases a little bit more as the sound subsides. And now do this last one a little softer. Lam Vam Ram. So sound has a beautiful way of bringing us into the body and directing our attention. Now, our creativity lives in this area, mostly around the second chakra. And here we are in the area of the pelvis and the hips, and sometimes things get a little tight in the hips, right, Ronnie? Or sometimes into the lower back, Katie, right? Or the attachment of the hamstrings. So keeping your hand onto your belly here. Now let's bend the knees and feel that lower back a little more stable into the earth as we lie here now and move a little bit more. Take a breath into the belly. So first chakra, of course, is the root of the spine. Above that, second chakra is where the creativity lives, our creation. We have all our reproductive organs there. Often the element of earth and water collect in this area. Fertile ground, fertile creativity. And then as we move up into the third chakra, solar plexus, which I like to imagine a little higher than my belly button, this becomes our expression of that creativity into the world. So if we're a little locked up or tight, or we're holding on to an old identity into our creative area, sometimes it's not so easily expressed in the world. So our practice today will be about playfully opening up to the hips and, more importantly, that energy of creativity as we play with the holiday of Halloween. So keeping your hands onto your belly now, press into your feet and scoop the hips up. Inhale up, let the back of the neck get long and lower down. Stay here, a breath as you inhale. Pooch the belly out, and then exhale, press your feet in, scoop the hips up. Maybe you can press into the palms a little bit as you feel a little bit more into that soft tissue. Inhale, lower down. Pooch out the belly, arch the back. Exhale, press into your feet, scoop the hips up, massage that soft area, hopefully of digested food. Just do a couple more on your own. Feel the back of the neck get long. Feel the spine begin to warm up. So we'll do a few warm-up exercises and then I'll work a little bit more energetically with this notion of creativity, expression, spooking out some of the stuck places. The analogies could go on and on and on. And I'll do my best, as you know. One more breath here. Now, as you scoop up, exhaling up, reach the arms up overhead and reach your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Now, shimmy from side to side as you take a few breaths. So shift from side to side. Have a little playfulness here, accessing whatever needs to be released or open. And then as you lower down now, exhale, bring your arms down with you. Inhale, reversing the breath now. Lift your hips up, arms overhead. Exhale, lower down. Now see if you can create a little more undulation here, moving into the fascia. Let the hips lift first, arms overhead, then lower the hips down and let that bring the arms down. Make sure your feet are firmly on the ground. And one more. Good. Now keep your arms down by your side. Reposition your feet underneath your knees in case you've moved a little bit. Lift your hips up now and walk your shoulder blades underneath. Interlace your fingers. Back of the neck is long. Now breathe here. Now we're going to play with a little pulsing. So see how this is for your knees, for your thighs, for your lower back. As you exhale, squeeze in, inhale, release, and pulse, and pulse. So you're clenching buttocks, release, clenching buttocks, release. So begin to feel this kind of prana pumping, working with the prana or the spanda. Maybe you can lift your hips up a little bit higher. Let's just do a few more. Not particularly stabilizing, but trying to get some fluidity into the body, into that expression of creativity, and then release the hands, slowly lower down, vertebra by vertebra. Now keep your hips onto the floor, walk your feet a little wider, and now take your right arm up towards the sky. Left arm is out from your left shoulder. Let's just move the upper body. The lower body will move in kind, and reach this right hand over your left hand as the upper body moves. My knees kind of knock knee, and then come back to center up and over to the other side. So I just took a glimpse of my inhale up, my reflection in the Zoom, and I scared myself because I saw a skeleton with a sweater on. So roll from side to side. And Monica, take some time to slow it down and really feel like, well, maybe somehow there's some creativity stuck in that spine somewhere. I'm fine with opening it up in the pelvis, but where does it get lodged in the upper body? Let's do a few more. And then let your knees drop. And feel that fluidity now as you roll from side to side. And one more. Movement like this is so important, especially as we age. Come back onto your back now. Bring your feet together and then draw your knees towards your chest. Grabbing at your shins now, take a breath and draw your nose up towards your knees. And as you lower down, inhale. Exhale once again, roll up a little higher. Draw your knees to your nose and inhale, lower down. And then reach the arms wide. Feet can stay on the floor if the lower back isn't opened up enough. Drop your knees towards the left as you look to the right. Take a free breath here. Feel the undulation of the spine as you inhale, exhale. Take your left hand onto your right armpit and do a little bit of that lymphatic jigga jigga. Tapping it, rubbing it, shaking it, making some noise. I don't know. I think Halloween is just like full permission to be a goofball. Take one more breath here. Exhale, draw the belly up to center and over towards the other side. So, of course, moving as to how your body feels. Take a breath or two here. What does it take to wake up the body? Maybe patting or tapping into your rib cage, which now I know what it looks like, or holding on and jiggling up into that armpit. And then bring the knees back towards center. Reach your hands on top of your shins now and arms are straight. Apanasana. As we bend both elbows, bring the knees towards your chest, stretch your lower back out. Chin is neutral. Inhale, arms straighten. As you exhale, draw into that second chakra, the sacrum area. Stretch through the lower back. Couple more. Notice if you're holding into any areas, and now let your knees come wide, a little wider, and do a couple more, drawing the knees in towards the chest as you exhale. Inhale, letting them float away, but keep your hands on them. Good, and then releasing those hands, just have them rest gently onto the knees and shake your knees. So a little pulsing, just like we did, back and forth, side to side, as if you're just loosening some of those old ideas that are stuck in your hips. Play with this a little bit. So this is a little jigga jigga, and the wisdom of jigga jigga. Feel some of that fascia. Just jiggle. Good. And then bring your knees back towards your chest. Cross the right ankle over the left and hold on to those big toes. Now, if you can't reach your big toes, hold on to something. And as you pull your heels towards midline, resist with your hands and get a little traction in your toe. And then move on to that second toe. Resist, get a little traction. Third toe. Oh, got a little adjustment there. Maybe jiggle those toes. Fourth toe. Fifth toe. And since it's Halloween, sixth toe. And just create a little more fluidity in the bottoms of the feet before we come up to standing. Now, come back to the big toe and straighten those legs as the heels press up towards the sky. Now, if you lose your toe, grab your ankles. Bend the knees back towards your chest, but let those heels come as close to the backs of your thighs as possible. Feel that stretch into the lower back and into those hips, and then straighten. And one more. And straighten. And then release the legs wide. Jigga, jigga, jigga. My bones are clattering. Clatter your bones. Imagine it's just a skeleton that you're jigga, jigga. And then cross the left ankle over the right. Bend the knees. Grab your toes again. Pulling onto those toes. Let the knees come wide and the heels and toes come to the backs of the thighs. Stretch into the hips and lower back. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, straighten the legs. Maybe flex the heels and feet. And then bend and straighten. And two more. Maybe the hips can lift a little bit. And one more. Maybe the knees can float away a little bit. And then maybe you can have a little fun with it. As you rock, roll, tuck the feet under. Seal pose. And if that feels like a scary thought this morning. Do whatever you can do. Take on another identity of that posture and then roll yourself up onto hands and knees. How are we doing? I had a student in class one day say, hey, what animal are we going to introduce into the ark today? So today was a seal pose. All right, on to our hands and knees now. Let's see how lower back feels as you draw the chest forward. Drop the shoulders down, draw the belly in, lower the forearms down as you shift back, Chakravakasana. Inhale forward. So nothing scary about Chakravakasana, but it is known as a ruddy goose pose, loosely translated. And one more. But of course, we do know about cat-cow. So as we come forward, maybe it's the ghost of a cow and then a Halloween cat round the back. Inhale. Exhale, round the cat. Inhale. How does that lower back creative area in the back of the spine feel? And one more. And then let your knees come wide. And now allow yourself to circle into your cat-cow, Chakravakasana. Take on any kind of animal identity you would like as you just free form, shifting forward and back and circling the cat, coming into that elusive cow. Just have some fun with it here. Release as much resistance in that lower back, our source of creativity, as you can. And then walk those knees back towards midline. And let's come and stand onto our knees. Bring our hands back to our belly. And then keeping the right hand there, bring our left hand onto our chest. Pinky finger pointing down towards the belly button, thumb right up at the sternum. On the right hand, pinky finger pointing down to the pubic bone, thumb right up towards the belly button. So as we begin to open up a little bit more into this pelvic area, second chakra, creativity, moving it up towards the torso to come into a little bit more expression, into the third chakra, solar plexus, the sun, shining your own expression. And then as the hand comes up towards the heart, merging with your truest heart's desire and up towards the throat. Can it be expressed beautifully? So this is how we play with chakras here. So still opening up now as we sweep the arms wide, press the knees to the floor. Imagine bringing that energy up through the solar plexus, through the heart, up to the throat. Exhale, open the mouth, release the breath with an HA, hands to the small of the back. Reconnect with the source. Press into the knees, arms wide. Exhale. Now rotate the head and neck. Inhale. Exhale, head to the left. Inhale. Exhale, head to the right. Couple more. Inhale, feel a little of the heat begin to build, right? We got a little Bunsen burner on the bottom there. And one more. Good. And now last one. Arms up, bring your hands forward, bring your toes under, come up into our downward facing dog, or what's our Halloween dog version? A werewolf? One of those snarly, scary animated creatures. Now, as you inhale, undulate the spine. As you exhale, relax the spine. Inhale, broaden. Exhale, relax. And now we're going to come forward full plank as we broaden into the back. Exhale, collapse into the ribs, knees bend, down dog. So inhale, broaden the back. Keep that dome shape forward into plank. And then exhale, bend the knees and relax the ribs. Do that a few more times. Maybe feeling yourself loosen up some of the plaque of old identities, old costumes, and then lower the knees to the floor, lower the chest to the floor, finding our scary serpent. Palms underneath the shoulders, pubic bone towards the floor. Bring your attention to the back body now. Imagine a slithering, scary snake up your spine. As you inhale, feel that snake begin to straighten out its body from the base of the spine coil up to the crown of the head as you lift your chest forward and up. Exhale, lower down. Let the head again rotate towards the left. Inhale up. So use this visualization. How can sometimes scary identities really serve you? So feel that snake uncoil itself to create more length and extension. Feel the stability of its origin in the base of the spine as you continue to lift and lower a few more times in Cobra. Good. And then let's shift ourselves back into child's pose and come on up into a comfortable seated posture, maybe elevating your hips. As you close your eyes now, feel a little bit more of that vitality. Maybe that cobra serpent uncoiled a little bit more into the upper body. Keeping your hands onto your knees now, just kind of swivel into the pelvis and see if your hips might feel a little bit more freedom, a little bit more release. Now we're going to do a little pranayama here with a warmed up body. So coming back and sit in your bowl, sit in your pelvic bowl now. Make sure your spine is nice and erect, and we'll come into Murti or Vishnu Mudra for alternate nostril breathing. But hey, we're going to create a whole new costume for that, and it's just going to be one side. So we'll take our thumb in our left hand, drop the two next fingers, right? Our peace fingers, index finger, middle finger down, and then our ring finger and pinky finger are up. Compress your left nostril now. Breathe out your right. Now inhale into your right. Close the right nostril with your ring finger. Exhale out the left. Now close the left. Inhale just into the right. Close the right. Exhale out the left. So we're just breathing into one nostril now. And we're exhaling out the left, the other nostril. So begin to do this now with a little more intention of roughly a 6 count inhale, a 6 count exhale. And as you inhale into that right nostril, imagine that you're energizing the left side of the brain. And as you exhale, releasing any stale intention, old ideas, etc. out. And as you inhale into that right nostril, into the left side of the brain, you're actually enlivening the whole left side of the body. That left side of the body that moves you, mobilizes you, takes you into action. You know, the right left brain is very complex. It's not just left analytical, right creative. We want to take that creativity that we're opening up now, and express it with a little more intention, a little more mobilization, right action. So keep breathing into the right now and feel that energy, not just into the left side of the brain, but the whole left side of the body. And let's do one more. And then release and feel. See if you can feel a little more activation now. And then opening our eyes. Let's come onto our hands and knees. And now let's take that awareness and slowly come on up to standing. So bring your toes under, come into your howling werewolf down dog. Maybe stretch through those calves. Flare those toes now that you have a little more footing. Bend your knees, send your sits bones up towards the sky. Feel a little more mobility into the hips. Let that travel up towards the heart, to the throat. And then as you look forward, begin to walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, hands onto your shins, halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, this time arms wide. Exhale, forward fold. And now as the arms come wide, bend the knees. Inhale, all the way up to standing. Exhale, palms to the heart. Let's bring our right foot forward now, left foot back. You may want to use a block here to the inside of your right foot in alignment with your left hip. So a warrior one stance. Bring your hands to your waist and bend into that right knee. Let the shoulders come a little bit more in front of the hips and press firmly down into that left heel. Feel the activation from the heel all the way up that left leg, and then draw the belly in as you rock your right hip back and feel that stabilize in that creative center. Now we're going to move that energy up towards the crown of the head. So let's bring the right hand to the small of the back. And as we bend the right knee, sweep the left arm forward, up by your ear. Let the chin lift, let the chest and chin lift, expose the throat. And then as you exhale, reach the left arm forward. Either tap your fingertips to that block onto the floor. Keep the right knee bent as you sweep this left arm by your ear. Come back up. And then as you exhale, straighten the right leg. 3 more times. Bend the right knee, left arm up. Square off that creative center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back up. Keep the right knee bent. Exhale, straighten the right leg, left arm down. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. You may lose that little screen. Inhale. I'm running out of battery in my iPad. And exhale, but the big computer screen is not playing tricks on me. And one more. Now stay here with your right knee bent, left arm up by the sky, drawing in on that creative center now. Let the torso come forward. Right knee stays bent. Can you stay here for 4 breaths? If that's a little too much, reach your arm out straight from your shoulder. If that's still too much, just bring your hands to the small of the back. But now building not just openness and fluidity in the hips, but strength into the hips. Keep that left heel nice and rooted, and then bring your left hand down, your right hand down, straighten the right leg, and hop this back foot forward. Let's come into our Egyptian pyramid pose here. Let's take on that costume. As we take 4 breaths, draw the nose up towards the knee. And then bend the right knee. Bring both hands down onto the floor or onto the blocks. Walk your left foot back. Come into a high lunge. And then step the right foot back into a downward facing dog. Dome the upper body like a Halloween cat. Come forward plank. Exhale, bend the knees. Stick your dog tail up towards the sky. Release the ribs into your down dog. Howling dog. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. So feel the contrast between broadening into the back of the heart and bending the knees, sticking the tail up. Arms are strong and softening in the front part of the heart. And then as you look forward, step forward, left foot and right foot forward fold. All the way up to standing inhale. Exhale, palms to the heart. Bring your hands to the waist, step back with your right foot. Position your blocks as you need to. Left hand to the small of the back 4 times. Bend the left knee. Right arm takes that creativity from the pelvis through the solar plexus. Expression of the heart. Open into the throat as the arm comes up by the ear. And then exhale, reach the arm down, a forward fold. Press into the back foot. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, straighten the right leg, right arm down. 3 more times. Inhale. Stability of the creativity, and then let it flow. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. And exhale. And again. I don't know, maybe you want to take on the identity of a supple skeleton, of a strong skeleton. And one more. Now stay here. Inhale halfway up. Now find your strength. Glide the left hip back. Right arm can stay forward or out to the side, or easiest to the small of the back. Maybe we're loosening up some things in the back body here, and then lower the right hand down, left hand down, hop the back foot forward, toes pointing roughly in the same direction for pyramid pose. An Egyptian costume here, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's just breathe here. You know, we talk about limitless potential. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I wake up the way I did this morning, it's like, what? I'm stuck. So see if you can try on that notion of limitless potential. Let's do one more breath here. And then soften in the left knee. Hop the right foot back. Come into your high lunge, both hands onto the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. Undulate forward into a dome type of plank, like a cat, Halloween cat. And then bend your knees, a howling dog. Stick your butt up towards the sky. Relax the front of the heart. And one more. Dome the back. And your howling dog. Butt towards the sky. Look forward, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Knees bend, arms come wide. Let that creativity spiral up towards the crown of the head and palms to the heart. Let's step out with the left foot now. Legs are wide onto the yoga mat, arms wide. Take a breath in. Now we're going to still continue to work with these hips. Take your left hand, bend your right knee, and sweep your left hand over towards your right foot. Now feel that into the torso connection by the hips. Come back up, inhale. Other side, bend the left knee, right hand over towards the left. And back up, inhale. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Now exhale to the right. Stay here. Reach that right arm up and then rotate your head down towards your left hand. As you stay here and breathe, on the inhale, rotate the head up. Feel the heart spin up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, rotate the head down. Keep the belly lifted. Inhale, rotate the heart up a little more. Exhale, head rotates. So each time you inhale and rotate up, the heart moves with you. Creative center stays stable. And one more. And then lower the right hand down, cross it over the left elbow, bend both knees, eagle arms to scary kala pose. Ready? Sweep the arms wide, HA. Ha! Inhale up, arms wide. Exhale, right hand over towards the left, bend the left knee, reach the left arm up. 4 times, head down as you exhale. Inhale, head up, rotate the heart, upper body. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Cross the left elbow over the right. Bend the knees. Eagle. Now we're taking on the identity of an eagle. Stay here for a few breaths. Feel the steadiness. Feel a little more vitality into your pelvis, moving up to the torso. And then maybe the expression of the throat into our kala scary pose. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. Exhale. Hands to the floor. Let's spin the right toe towards the front of the mat. Spin around to the front of the mat and then step back at downward facing dog. Take about 4 breaths here and just feel that. And then moving down onto the floor now, let's drop the knees down. Let's come back to our Chakravakasana with a little deeper integration of breath, finding more the subtle creativity. We're dipping back into the well of creativity. So as you inhale, the chest opens up, of course. Now stay here as you draw the belly in. You're still on hands and knees. Exhale, release all the breath. Draw the belly in. Then we move on the pause after exhale. Drop the elbows, shift the hips back, pull the belly in. Tap into a deeper creativity. Inhale forward. Stay here, exhale. Shift back on suspension. Draw the belly in. Stretch through lower back. 2 more. Feel the depths you can go into your own potential. Maybe a costume you never even thought of is lying in there somewhere. Your juiciness, your creativity. Good. 1 more. And then let's come back up onto our hands and knees. Let's swing our legs around and let our legs come forward. I'm going to face the camera here so you can see my knobby, bony knees. Now, shift over onto your left buttocks. Bring your left hand down. Bend your right knee. Bring your right foot towards your hips. And then reach in and find your toe, find your ankle, find a pant leg. We're going to play. We're going to take that foot, leg, ankle, and extend it out, bend it back in, and then out to the side. And then play around, forward to the side, up, as you bend and straighten. So where can we bring a little more playfulness into our creativity, especially those of us that are entrepreneurs? Good. And then extend that right leg forward, release the toe or ankle and lower down. Now, let that fascia jigga, 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 jigga out. Shift your weight to your right buttock, right hand down, reach for a toe, an ankle, a thigh, a pant leg, and straighten that leg. Bend and maybe straighten it to the side. Maybe cross over. Have a little creativity and fun here. Maybe this side feels different than the other side. And then extend that left leg straight forward. Go back to the source. Draw your belly in, release the hand, and lower the leg down. And then jigga, 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 jigga. Let's shift back over onto our left buttock. Reach for that big toe. Come back down. And now see if we can clasp our hands underneath that right foot, drawing the right knee into our right armpit. Well, this might be enough for you. See if you can drop the shoulders down. Remember that scary, scary serpent snake coiling up through your spine? We'll give it a little more access. And then maybe you can straighten the leg. And then maybe you can take your left hand to the outside of that right foot. Now your left leg is pressing down onto the floor. Reach the right arm up. Press your creativity down towards the fertile soil of the earth. And then rotate towards the right as the right hand comes down onto the floor. Twisting towards the right now. Press into that left leg as the right leg stays lifted. Maybe grab your toe. And then as you rotate back to center, bend the right knee. Either bring it on top of your left thigh or inside your left thigh, forward fold. Breathe here. As you breathe now, let the belly, let the breath support the creative process of unlimited potential as you inhale up all the way to the crown of the head. Let the torso lift and then fold. And then one more. And then both arms come up. Bring your hands down. Switch. Jigga, jigga both legs. Switch onto your right buttock. Bend your left knee. Hold on to the bottom of the foot and draw the left knee back into your left armpit or beyond. To infinity and beyond. I'll do a side view here. Pressing down into the right foot now. Maybe you can straighten this left leg. Maybe not. Maybe just keep it here. It might be enough. Maybe from there you can reach to the outside of the left foot as you extend the left arm up. Right leg is firm. And then as you exhale, begin to rotate towards the left. Spinal twist your torso. Maybe grab your toe. And take a few breaths here. Fully integrating now this aliveness and a wakefulness in the pelvis, in the hips, that whole second chakra area, moving up through the solar plexus, beginning to let it open up into the heart with your heart's truest desire into the throat, a full expression. And then as you rotate back to center, bend this left knee, externally rotate the hip and either bring it on top of that right thigh or inside the right thigh and forward fold. Now let the undulation of the spine lift you upwards. As you take an inhalation, exhale, float down. And two more times. And one more. Creativity is spontaneous. So accessing a little more spontaneity now as you lift the chest forward. Bend both knees. Let's scooch our butt forward and come onto our backs. Let the arms come wide and let the legs come wide. Remember, babies on their backs, their legs, and they play with their toes. So let's bend our knees here. Reach into the inner seams of your thighs. Let your sit bones reach towards the floor so you feel that full sacrum onto the mat. And then pressing your palms to the inside of your inner thighs, exhale, begin to draw the knees towards center. Now reestablishing symmetry. Inhale the knees wide. Exhale, feel a little compression of the lower back into the mat as you resist slightly, knees together. And two more. And one more. And then release the knees towards your chest. Draw your nose up towards your knees. Maybe you can reach the bottoms of your feet into the tightest little acorn. Speaking of potential. And then as you lower down, let the arms come wide. Let the legs extend up towards the sky. Now, jigga, jigga, jigga. Releasing the spanda, the life force, that coiling serpent. Jigga, jigga your hips. Bounce your sacrum. Jigga, jigga your waist, your sides, your shoulders. And then as you bring your knees to your chest, let your feet come onto the floor, knees stay bent. Breathe and feel. Feel that life force. What is that? Who do you want to be? How do you want to feel? All of it is within your ability, limitless potential to take on any costume you want. And then very slowly bring your knees back towards your chest. Bring your hands back onto the tops of your knees. As you straighten the arms, both knees float away. As you exhale, both knees come back towards your chest. Feel the ease in which your lower back and hips are moving now. Just take two more. And then reach to the back sides of your thighs. As they float away, hold on to the back sides of the thighs. As they come to your chest, extend your legs up and over. And then let's do a little rock and roll. And finish up in a seated pose here. Cross-legged position. Let's have the right foot in front of the left. We'll finish up with a little pranayama. Nothing like a little breath to smooth out the edges. Smooth out the edges with a little pranayama now. A little baby Kapalabhati. So we're just going to do about 20 seconds, and then we're going to take a big inhalation. Hold the inhalation, then come into a forward fold. So let's begin. Let's have the right foot forward and just know where your big toes are. But we'll start with our palms facing the ceiling. Take a breath in and begin. Release the breath. Take an inhale. Hold the breath. Reach for your toes. Retain the breath as you forward fold. Stay here as long as you can until you have to breathe and come back up to a seated pose. Palms back on your thighs, facing the sky. Feel. Feel that life force, that creativity. It's really life force. We identify and attach a meaning to that life force and call it, I'm a creative this, I'm a creative that. All right, second round of Kabbalah. We'll do again for about 20 seconds, and then we'll exhale all the breath out. On suspension, we'll grab our toes and do a forward fold. Take a breath in and begin. Exhale all the breath out. When there's no more breath, pause, crisscross your legs in the other direction, reach for your toes and forward fold. And then, only then, when you need to inhale, come back up. Replace your palms again onto your thighs or knees to the ceiling. Now you might feel this beautiful surge of prana as you feel the energy move up from the creative center into the solar plexus, being connected to the heart, expressed through the throat, and now connected to that single focused mind. Stay here for a few more breaths. And then let's bring our palms together. With gratitude, I don't know, I feel a little bit like a wispy ghost now. There's no identifying structure around me. I'm a little more freeform.